I've never had a true definition of success because for the longest time, I had firmly believed that the grass would be greener on the other side. And it doesn't help that I am constantly surrounded by smart, talented, and obviously successful people. And I've turned them into my definition of success. I've grown up in a smart, science-based household and watched all my cousins achieve their dreams in the field of STEM. One starts her own dental clinic and is a dentist, obviously, and another does research at MIT as a biomedical engineer. And don't get me started on my own father. He left his high-paying company as a chemical engineer, started his own, and is managing to spend quality time with us every single day. And it just feels like that. In order for me to be that successful, I have to fill in those shoes left by every aunt, uncle, cousin, eventually my parents, but my feet look pretty small. This is something every single generation struggles with. Comparison and competition. It's in our nature. Literally. Natural selection is a survival of the fittest, and those with the desirable traits in the given environment are going to come out alive. Putting into high school terms, those with the perfect IB 45, your 10 extracurriculars, and the secret financial stability to donate a building to your dream university are bound for success. And like me, not all of us fit that role. I remember vividly when my first diploma progress report came out, I got 2 7s in chemistry and music at a high level, and my only 5 was in math. 37 out of 42, pretty good score because we're not including those 3 bonus points you get from the IB core curriculum. So yeah, confident. Then I started hearing about these people in my grade, the smart, athletic, sociable people with the 41s out of 42 with their only deduction in language and literature because it's impossible for all of us. And hearing that, suddenly, my 37 felt like a pathetic excuse of a grade. Suddenly, all sense of my accomplishment was gone. And suddenly, my first term of the diploma didn't feel that successful. It was hard not to constantly compare myself to all these people because they had cracked that secret code to being content with their progress, not caring what other people thought, and were always willing to lend a helping hand. It was like being a lone electron in the delocalized sea and looking up at that stable, strong, positive lattice of cations. Y'all impressed with my chemistry knowledge? Anyways, you'd think with a dilemma like this, I'd find comfort in the fact that there's always worse. That even though my grass isn't that bright green, at least my grass isn't dead. But ironically, I just felt worse, and this feeling kept coursing through my body from October to December to January with every new internal assessment, extracurricular, and dreadfully extended essay added to my IB dictionary. It had gone so bad, I resorted to making a Reddit account and stalked the SG exam subreddit multiple times a day and concerning amount of times a week, mostly because I was applying to university here. I'd spend hours going on this subreddit and just searching blank major at the National University of Singapore, first time salary, for weeks. And suddenly this came to a halt when I asked my dad about going to law school. He said, yeah, I'll think about it. I think we have a different definition of think about it because when we go to India for the Chinese New Year break, my cousin excitedly comes up to me, asking me about how cool it would be if I was actually a lawyer. I felt strangely happy. But truth to be told, I had only asked him about NUS Law School because it was the second highest first-time salary after NTU's double degree program in business and computer science. Disgusting combination. But hey, I had drive now. I had this energy to look up everything I could about law school, go to those open houses, and ask those seniors questions, hoping for even clearer answers. But knowing the playing field I'm against, it was hard not to compare myself again. After all, the cutoff for law school is a 40 out of 45. that felt like a long shot. And then I met Jesus. I'm Catholic and you're supposed to see Jesus in everyone. So I guess I saw him then, obviously not in the divine form with the seraphims and all that, but rather through a struggling junior college 2 student on Reddit. I know, I'm on here a lot because I'd rather trust students from 15 years ago rather than any AI chatbot about law school admission. Now, he had this post titled 90 rank points, full marks, in his diploma, and a failure. My first thought was to fill in the comments with the various curse words I had gathered as a result of a globalized society, then paused, came to my senses, realized it's not that deep and that I should just read the post anyway. He wasn't helping his case, and I'm gonna keep calling the Redditor Jesus. Sorry, Mom. Basically, he was so unlike me. A passion for economics and high marks and based on context clues, a guy. So I didn't feel sympathetic till I read one line. Those people in my school who have applied to economics or any economics related degree are flying out there, scoring their top internships and even better extracurriculars, and seeing all of that made me feel like a failure. I guess even the smart ones compare themselves to others. It sat with me for a good while. After pondering alone, talking with my friends about it at lunch, and a half-baked university meeting with my dad and my university advisor, it then finally hit me. Success is not that singular destination. Not that Ivy League school or that honor roll you've been getting since 7th grade, but it's that exhilaration I felt when my cousin asked me about law school, or the excitement I felt when I went to every single open house with that dream that I might be walking there with my own 2 feet someday. So, if you think about it, success is a feeling. And it's definitely not filling big shoes with tiny feet, or trying to be a carbon copy of your incredibly successful first-generation immigrant father who's a chemical engineer despite being terrible at math. And it's a really tough pill to swallow. I know of all people, because I'm still young, and I'm still growing. But for once, I'm not looking to the other side and that beautiful patch of green grass. I'm looking down, watering my own grass, and I think it looks pretty green. Very green. Thank you.